This news update is brought to you by...
Say hello to Carol. Carol talks for a living, from morning till night. So she relies on Flo's crystal clear home phone service brought to her through Flo's 100% fiber to the home network. It keeps her in the know, and because she bundles her mobile broadband and TV services, she enjoys huge savings, so she can enjoy much more for much less. So visit any Flo retail outlet, call 1-800-804-2994, or visit discoverflow.co to find out more. One-of-a-kind connection. This is how we flow.
It's Tuesday, April 12th, and time for the Barbados Today Evening Update. Thanks for joining us. I am Fernella Wedderburn. Shocked and dismayed. That's how the island's top cop is describing the sudden death of his crime chief, Livingston Eversley. The acting assistant commissioner for crime died at his Vauxhall Christchurch home last evening. An acting commissioner of police, Tyrone Griffith, tells Barbados Today the force is taking the loss very hard.
You wouldn't find many officers better than him. You could tick every box in relation to him. He was top class in integrity, professionalism, teamwork, outstanding detectives. We're going to really lose an outstanding officer, to say the least. I would once again want to extend our greatest sympathy to his family and hope that they will be well in these tough times. But he was thorough strength to the organization, and he will be greatly missed.
Murder accused Sean Watson is out on bail. He was released today, almost 4 years after he was remanded for the murder of his estranged wife, Nicole Harrison Watson. The draughtsman of Ballantyne Christchurch was charged with the April 29, 2012 offense after his wife's body was found at her Ferniehurst St. Michael home, bound and partially naked. He was granted $250,000 bail. The head of the Barbados Agricultural Society says he's satisfied that persons are finally being hauled before the law courts for praedial larceny. This as the second man is sent to prison for the theft of sweet potatoes. James Paul says the theft of crops have been increasing in recent times, and he's happy that some of those responsible will think twice before stealing the livelihoods of farmers.
What the challenge is that I am at least pleased to see at least the action that there's evidence. Clear evidence action being taken by the Royal Barbados Police Force to try to apprehend those persons who are responsible for praedial larceny. Of course, from that point of view, I think it is pleasing to note at least that the penalties that are there in the law are being imposed in order to let people understand that we cannot go around stealing people's crops like that, property like that, and depriving them of their livelihood. So I must say that in terms of the farming community, certainly they will be pleased to see that action is being taken by the law to apprehend those persons. I also don't want to say that I will want the public to cooperate with us, because the people that we are trying to defend in this instance are poor persons who, in these challenging times, are dependent on farming for a living.
Substantial work has been done on the river bus terminal, so says Transport and Works Minister Michael Lashley, as he dismissed media reports that nothing had been done to kickstart the multi-million-dollar project. He made the comments following a tour of the facility with ministry officials and stakeholders this afternoon.
So to say that no work is made on the terminal is totally wrong. We've done fairly substantial work. We've actually done the primary, painted, placed windows in here so that we can get proper ventilation, because this is the raising area for the buses. We started on the male toilets and the female toilets, and we are gradually getting there. And of course, we're going to include some small private contractors along with NTW so we can push the work. The next phase is the concourse that is coming off of this building where the vans will be lining up. So that is the next phase basically for this project.
Meantime, interim chairman of the Association of Private Transport Owners, Maurice Lee, says he's pleased with the progress made so far on the terminal, but he's hoping that the work will be completed during this year.
We recognize that work has continued. Obviously, it will not be completed within the 6-month deadline that the minister had indicated initially, but we are pleased to know that work has restarted, and we are hoping that it will be speeded up to be brought to conclusion, because this facility here can bring tremendous value to the industry in terms of providing a service not only for the owners and operators but the commuters as well.
In sports, former West Indies fast bowler Franklin Rose has been deported from New Zealand. He was forced out of the country and sent back home to Jamaica after Immigration Minister Craig Force refused to allow him to stay in the country. Immigration detained Rose some 2 years ago after he was served with a deportation order for living there illegally. He spent the last 5 weeks in prison at Central Auckland's Mount Eden prison.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
The 50th anniversary of Independent Secretariat and the National Cultural Foundation proudly present the theatrical production From Bossa to Barrow and Beyond.
We are not slaves.
Saturday, April 16th at 6:30 p.m. at the historic Golden Grove Plantation. Come, be a witness to history.
Aye, Nanny Greg.
Enter the ritual. Feel the power.
This country will be independent. And if I have to wake up all the sleeping angels in heaven, so be it.
From Bossa to Barrow and Beyond. April 16th. Tickets $50 adults, $10 youth and children. Available at all NCF outlets and at ticketpal.com.
To news from the region, Venezuela's Supreme Court overturns an amnesty for jail opposition leaders. About 70 activists opposed to President Nicolas Maduro's socialist government had been due for release under the law approved last month by the opposition-controlled parliament. The court declared the amnesty law unconstitutional. President Maduro also condemned the law as an attempt to destabilize his leadership of the country. And finally, embattled Brazilian President Dilma Rousseff denounced a coup plot against her. However, in a new twist, she's suggesting that the vice president, Michel Temer, is one of the conspirators. The president, who is facing impeachment in the National Congress, hinted that he was one of the ringleaders of a plot to overthrow her.
This is a critical week for the president's opponents in Congress as they try to drum up the necessary two-thirds majority to begin the impeachment process. But it's important to note, impeachment has nothing to do with the aforementioned corruption scandal at the state-controlled oil giant Petrobras. Instead, it is more focused on allegations that Dilma Rousseff somehow manipulated government accounts to hide the growing deficit. And that is why the president and his supporters say that what is happening in Congress is nothing more than an attempted coup against a democratically elected government. Yes, in the last decade, Brazil was the darling of the developing world. Its economy booming and millions brought out of poverty thanks to innovative welfare programs. The country was awarded the World Cup and the Olympic Games. But under Dilma Rousseff's second term in office, rising inflation and recession have threatened many of those gains. It's also exposed many of Brazil's old divisions that never really went away, between north and south, rich and poor, and along racial lines. This feels like a divided country with regular anti- and pro-government protests on the streets of Rio, Sao Paulo and Brasilia.
And that's news and sports, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. Also, subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Channel 99 on Flow TV and Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Good evening.